you're fat, you should lose weight, you know. I came to a breaking point. I don't care, I wanna like leave this world. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so for today's video, it's something a bit more different than what I usually do. I usually keep things very happy, very positive. I'm all about positive vibes. I keep that on all my social media platforms, but I think I have something that's been like laying on my heart for the past like few days, and I thought I want to talk about it. Like, yeah, I want to just share from my experience. So that's what this video is going to be about. It is going to be slightly long, so grab a snack, grab a tissue. I've got my tissue roll here, and yes, I've also done like notes on my phone. I've got a lot of them. Like, look at that. I've been making notes since morning. I've been trying to just process whatever I'm thinking, and because I have this habit of like talking like in all directions and not coming like straight to the point, so that's what I'm trying to do today. Okay, so basically today what I want to do is I want to talk about my journey being in the plus size group of life and how I've grown from it and what my experiences were, because I do get a lot of comments from a lot of you. Like, my inbox on Instagram is full of really sweet messages from girls, and I want to say 99% of them would say, Akka, I love your confidence, you know, the way you dress and all that stuff. And I'm just here to share my journey personally, and just like, I've never spoken about this on my social media platforms. A lot of you, even though you followed me from maybe day one, a lot of this information is new. So I just wanted to share that the confidence part did not come overnight. It was a journey, and I'm hoping that you would also get to the point that I'm at, but it was not easy. So I'm just here to sort of just share my experiences. So all of this actually started yesterday. Yesterday I was talking to my sister. If you follow me on Instagram, you know we have had like 3 nights of like sleepover. As you can see, all the pillows are like arranged there. I need to take them back into the room. So during these 3 days I had such a good fun, and we were actually talking about our childhood stories and the stuff that we used to do, you know, our friend groups, and I ended up talking about like ex-boyfriends and all that stuff. And I was just thinking, as I was talking to her, I was just thinking, because I had a very abusive relationship with my ex-boyfriend, and this was a very young relationship, which was uncalled for. Anyways, yeah, so I had like a very bad relationship and all that stuff, and I was thinking while I was talking to her, like, why did I put myself through that stress? Why did I allow people to treat me that way? And I realized that it comes back to the root of the problem, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So everything actually comes back down to this one thing. So first of all, a bit of background on myself and my family. So growing up, it's just been my mom and I. My dad and my mom got divorced when I was really small. He moved on to have his family of his own, and it was just my mom and I. And growing up, I was not the easiest child. Like, you know, like now when I think about it, like I do cry sometimes thinking about how stressful I would have been to have been her child at that point, because I was naughty. I did a lot of stuff, and being a single parent, I'm sure a lot of you who are single parents, who are mothers, would definitely understand that it's not easy when you're trying to look after like a whole, like you're playing both roles. You're playing both mom and dad, and then you have a problematic child, and for that I'm so sorry, mom. But yeah, I was a good child. I was not like terribly bad, but I did have my rebellious episodes like a lot of us did, but I did have that. And I think a lot of it had to do because with my father not being around. And by the way, I just want to say my mom is the most amazing person. I think now, looking back at everything that had happened, if I had only just listened to her and just accepted what my life was and just been with her, I don't think I would have gone through half of the crap that I did go through, because she is perfect. She is everything to me. And yes, so at that point of life, no matter what she was showering, like her love, her time, her money, whatever that she was giving me, I still had that void of not having a father around, because a lot of you can understand, for those of you that have both parents, or for those of you from like single parent households, you would understand that especially with a father not being around, there's a lot of dynamics in that relationship that would affect you as a person. So I was going through that, and I kept seeking love outside of my mother. Like, I always wanted reassurance, I always wanted to feel good about myself. So growing up, I was on the heavier side, definitely. And the people around me, so let's take my mom out of the equation, not my mother, but everyone else around me, friends, you know, everybody around me, whether it's family, any other relationships that I had, everybody would only tell me one thing. Like, the only thing they would tell me when they see me is, you're fat, you should lose weight, you know, you're dark, you're not intelligent enough, and all those stuff. And throughout the years, like since I was, I think I am getting emotional. So throughout the years, ever since I can even remember, since standard 1 right up to, I want to say, form 5, I was constantly in this box where I felt I was not pretty at all. Like, I'm not pretty, no guy is ever gonna look at me, I'm not intelligent, I gotta take a second. I'm not fair enough, I am tomboyish, I am this and I'm that. And there were very small instances where, not even small, I don't think besides my mom anyone had ever told me I was beautiful, which is actually very sad if you think about it. Like it's actually very sad. So I was in this box where everybody constantly told me I'm not good enough and all that stuff. And because of that, so I had already had this perception about myself, of based on what everybody around me was saying to me. I already have this perception that I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, and all that stuff. So with this perception that I have in my head that I am this and I'm that, and because people kept telling me that, I went out and I was constantly looking for love, for reassurance and all that stuff. And I ended up getting into like toxic relationships where the person would either hit me, would abuse me. You know, I've been through all that. So when some of you guys do share your experiences, like, trust me, I've been through the same. I know it may be hard to believe because I've never spoken about this, but yes, I've also been through really bad relationships. But I was just thinking, why did I even entertain someone treating me that way? Because currently in my position now, I would never ever entertain someone treating me like that, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member. I do not accept that anymore. And I realized that it's because at that point of time, although it is really sad to hear, I felt really privileged when someone looked at me, because I was constantly told, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. That if a guy were to just turn and say like, hey, I'm like, wow, like oh my god, like this is such a privilege, this is such an honor for him to be saying hi. And this was because I felt so low about myself that I was willing to let people step on my head. That's basically it. So I allowed that to go on, and so the more people kept saying like, you're ugly, you're fat, you're blah 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 and all that stuff, the more I kept believing into it, the more I kept feeding into it, the more I gave it space in my head, and I believed it. And that enabled me to allow people to treat me badly, if that makes sense. So that went on for a while. So I had allowed my friends to always make fun of me. I used to be like the joker in the group. Even friends would make friends with me because I was friends with like the hot girl in school. Like, nobody would take me seriously, and this all stemmed down just because of the way I looked, because in their eyes I was not considered pretty. So that went on for a while until I did come to my breaking point. So when I was in Form 5, my mom actually had an opportunity. As many of you know, my mom is now in Sydney for work and stuff. So she had the same opportunity come by when I was in Form 5, and during that time, so she had to go off to Sydney for a while. I think 3-4 months, just to get things settled so that I can move across with her. So during this time, everyone around me asked me where I want to stay. And I said I wanted to stay with my dad. And a lot of them were surprised. Like my family especially was like, huh? Your father? You want to go and live with your father? And I said, yeah, I want to go and live with my father. So because I was thinking during this time that I want to stay with my dad to just get to know him, because I did not get the opportunity my whole life. And I love him like a lot. Until today, I really, really love him a lot. And you know, with girls and their fathers, we really love our dads. So I was thinking at that time, like, okay, I want to stay with my dad just to get to know him better. But my dad already has his own family. He has his own kids and all that stuff. So I did move in with him. But when I did move in with him, I realized that we were both in a very weird spot. I'm thinking now that maybe, because I was still equally rebellious there, I was equally very tough there, so I'm thinking that he may have been slightly lost on how to reconnect back with me after all the years that we've lost. And okay, so I've just moved up on the sofa because my leg was cramping. Anyways, what was I saying? Because when I was staying there, I sort of realized that the only person had mattered right up to that point was my mother. Someone which I had just not taken seriously right up to then. I did not know how close I was with her because I was fighting with her so much that I did not know that the moment she had left, that she is my rock, she is my everything. So with her being gone from the picture, with me being in my dad's place and not seeing him give me that love back, and with my toxicness of a boyfriend that I had going on, I came to a breaking point. I came to a point where I thought that, you know, life sucks and I'm going to end my life. So I did exactly that. I took some stuff, attempted to end my life, got admitted in hospital, and then when my mom heard all of this, she came back from Sydney. I moved in with her, we started life back. I was on antidepressants and all that stuff. So after I moved in with my mom, that was when I started my journey in recovery. That's when I started getting into the Bible. I started, you know, spending a lot of time with God, trying to rebuild my relationship with him and finding myself. That is only when I found myself and I started feeling good about myself. And that because I had like a massive breaking point where I was like, nah, I don't care, I wanna like leave this world. Only then did I realize that, okay, I don't care what people say. I don't care how many people call me fat. I don't care what people think. The only person that I care about is my mom and whatever she says. So up to today, the two people that I only listen to is my mom and my husband. Besides that, I don't listen to anybody else because people can be toxic. People are so toxic, sometimes they do not realize how toxic they are, and it's very sad actually. So I am not sharing this to gain pity, for you to look at me in a different way. No. I'm sharing this because I want you to know, whether you are a plus size person, whether you are the victim in this situation, or you are the one victimizing someone, if you are the one bullying someone, I want you guys to know that words spoken is very powerful. Even for jokes, you know, we in this Indian community or Asian community, we have this issue when we see somebody, we're like, wow, so fat already, wow, so thin already, wow, so dark already. I still don't get it. Like, why would you do that? Are you perfect? Do you look like Aishwarya Rai? No. Every one of us are human beings. Like, why do you greet someone like that? So I realized that words play such an important role in this. So if you are the person doing this, even for a joke, if you think it's funny, it is not funny, because it hurts like hell, and it contributes to a bigger issue. Like for me, because you see, people around me would think like, it's just words, I'm just saying it as a joke. But in fact, that joke, because it was said so many times, led to me feeling low about myself, and then led to me allowing people to treat me badly because I had no self-confidence, and ultimately led to me wanting to take my life. So it's not something that should be joked about. It's not something that should be taken easy. So if you are doing that to someone, please stop. It's not funny. And if you are in this situation, okay, so this is what I want to say for those of you that are in this situation. If you have family and friends that do not support you, that constantly tear you down, it's okay. It's totally fine, because one thing that I've learned from life is you cannot stop people from talking. That's one thing that's inevitable. You cannot stop someone from saying bad things. That is them. But you know what you can control? You can control how you react to them. You cannot stop things from happening to you, but you can control how you react to them. And I want to say, confidence, even though how cliche it might sound, starts from you. If you yourself look at yourself and you feel ugly, if you tell yourself, oh, you're so ugly, oh, you're so fat, how do you expect someone else to look at you differently? Right? Because I used to do the same. I used to look and be like, oh my god, my arm's so big, oh my god. But I just came to the point, I'm like, it's just skin. Like, I don't care. It's just skin. Like, if you don't want to look at me, don't look at me. It's just skin. It's just sizing. Like it doesn't bother me anymore, because I came to the point where I am confident in myself, because I realize no matter how cliche this sounds, if I do not love myself, how can I expect someone else to love me? You know, if you get me? Like, my husband has been my biggest supporter all this while, but when I met him, I have to be at least a half glass full and him a half glass full, and then we pour into each other. I cannot bring my empty glass into a relationship and expect people to pour into me. Like, a lot of us do this thing. We always victimize ourselves. We always look for pity. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, even I used to look for comfort, but I want to say, the more you look for pity, the more you look for comfort, the more you put yourself down, you allow people to look down on you a lot more, if that makes sense. Like, if you yourself put yourself down, you allow people to do that to you. So why would you do that to yourself? Why would you allow people to look down on you by looking down on yourself, if that makes sense? Basically, what I'm saying is, confidence, this whole confidence theme that we've all been talking about, is something that comes from you. It's not something that you take it from someone else. It's not something I have taken from my husband because of the way he loves me. It's not something I've taken from my mother. No, it's something that I decided to do for myself, because I was totally done with everybody telling me I'm not enough. I told myself, like, okay, you think I'm not good enough, but I am good enough for myself. Because you see, one Bible verse that changed my life is Psalm 139 verses 14. It says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that very well. So that's basically what it means. I know no matter what size I am, because my Bible doesn't talk about sizing. My Bible doesn't say, God said, size 0 people to the left, size 2 people to the right, size 4 people to, and then plus sizes all in the back. It doesn't say that. No religion discriminates against sizing. So I'm thinking, my only thought is, if my God did not discriminate me, if my God embraces me for all that I am, for all my flaws, who are you as men to say stuff? But at the same time, you see, you cannot stop men from talking. If you have a mother that constantly tells you you're fat, if you have a father that constantly pulls you down, if you have friends, you must understand something. You cannot stop them from talking. That is people. That is how the world works. You cannot stop them from talking. But once you get to that level of confidence in your life where people, their opinion doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. So after all my struggles, because of all the journeys that I've been through and my breaking point, I decided that no, even until today, I still get a lot, as you guys know, I get a lot of really bad comments on like TikTok and stuff. I am not bothered. I don't care. Like, if you are bothered seeing my tummy, like, that's your issue. It's not mine. My previous boss used to tell me, Ash, you know, your work all is so good, but if you reduce a bit, perfect. Why? Do I need to look pretty to do the job? No. But people have that impression. I still get told from friends and family that I'm fat, that I should reduce weight, but none of them actually know that I simply don't care anymore. I do not take whatever they say to my mind. I take it with a grain of salt. I'm absolutely not bothered what they have to say. The only two people that matter in my life is my mom and my husband. That's all. If they say like, hey, you know, you gotta, I will listen to them, because I know it comes from a place of genuine love and genuine sincerity, and the rest of it, truly I do not bother. So I'm just here in conclusion, because I know I've been talking for so long. In conclusion, I think what I want to say is, no matter what your circumstances are, no matter how people have treated you, no matter how low you feel about yourself, it's time for you to come up in life, for you to get out of that situation, and you have to treasure yourself. So that's basically I want to say. I know a lot of you have tough journeys. You may not have the support system that you're looking for, but that's okay. Your joy has to come from within. Your joy is not found in anyone else. Always remember that you cannot find joy in anyone else. Your joy has to come from within. You have to do what's right for yourself. So do not play the victim. Do not sit down. Do not say like, oh my God, you know, I have nobody, I'm so lonely. Like, don't do that. Do that for a day, cry your eyes out, and then the next day get up and continue on. That's what strength is. That's how you build on strength. Do not care what people say. People will say 1,000 things. Look at me. Every time I post something on TikTok, every time I post a crop top, people have so many things to say to me. If I'm using makeup, it's wrong. If I'm not using makeup, it's wrong. If I'm using a crop top, it's wrong. But if I'm using a sari blouse that shows my stomach, it's totally fine. So people will say 1,000 things. But you just gotta look after yourself. And it's not something to do overnight. It's not something where you get up today and be like, okay, I'm gonna love myself, I'm gonna be like her, I'm gonna be like Ash, I'm gonna just not care. No, it comes with a journey. It is a journey, but it's something that you constantly remind yourself about, that you are loved, you are always cared for. You have to look after yourself. And last but not least, like, if you know someone struggling with this, if you know someone that has these things, like, be kind with them, because a lot of stuff can lead to unnecessary stress, can lead to a lot of unnecessary stuff. So be kind to everybody around you. You have no idea what people are going through. And for those of you watching, if you are in the similar situation that I've been through, just DM me on Instagram. I will definitely talk to you. Sometimes a lot of us just need a bit of comfort. We need people around us, good people around us. A lot of us need good people around us, and that's what matters. So just feel free to DM me on Instagram, drop some comments down below. We can discuss down there. And yes, so for those of you that have watched until here, thank you so much for watching. I do hope this video has helped you in a way. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.